Good morning, America. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday morning. I'm Vanessa Broussard. Look who it is. Huge news today. Former Mesa County Clerk Tina Peters speaking out from behind prison walls. In less than 1 week, she will be released from prison on June 1st. That is next week. Here she is waving to cameras, waiting for her on the outside. She looks like she's in good spirits, giving the camera crew heart signal and waving there. Tina has been issued a clemency from Colorado Governor Jared Polis. There is that clemency right there. We have been waiting for this for a very long time. Again, she is in good spirits, smiling from behind prison walls. Jared Polis, the governor, issued this clemency. He's been getting a lot of flack from the Democrats regarding this, but he is releasing her from prison on June 1st in less than a week. Peters became one of the most high-profile figures tied to election integrity investigations after she was convicted in connection to a 2021 security breach involving Mesa County voting equipment. Prosecutors accused Peters of allowing unauthorized access to election systems and misleading officials during the process. She was ultimately convicted on multiple felony and misdemeanor charges and originally sentenced to more than 8 years in prison. Governor Polis, though, he says while the crimes were serious, the sentence for a first-time non-violent offender was excessive. His decision has sparked outrage from critics on both sides of the political aisle, with some arguing the move undermines confidence in election security cases, while supporters say the original punishment was politically motivated and far too harsh. One of those being Mike Lindell, another being President Trump, who has been very vocal on social media. As you can see, multiple posts, probably at least once a month, saying free Tina Peters. Other long posts that he would put out talking about Tina Peters and how she was the victim of this political motivated, far too harsh sentence. President Trump then pardoned her on federal crimes, but this is a state crime. So the federal level could not get her out of prison. We've been waiting on the Colorado courts or the governor to do so. And that is what's happening. This is a case that many across the country have been following. She questioned elections following the 2020 election, and that's whenever she was sentenced to prison. A Gold Star mother battled cancer in her 70s inside prisons with the harshest criminals that you can imagine. Now, how Colorado works is that there are no levels of the prison system. In a lot of states, you have the prison systems where if you have a nonviolent crime, you are housed with nonviolent criminals, but that's not the case in Colorado. Everyone goes into one prison. We have reported before that Tina Peters has been in altercations with some of the prisoners. She has been harassed by some of the prisoners. The prisoners there know her story. They know that she is being watched nationally, so they have harassed her. But she is coming home, and this time next week, she will be released. She has spoken out from prison, saying she's in good spirits. And again, look at her there. This video just coming out of her waving to the camera, smiling. So good to see Tina Peters smiling and on her way out those prison doors. We will have more on this throughout the week. Tina Peters being freed from prison. Let's go to Minnesota now. New polling in Minnesota showing Mike Lindell leading the crowded Republican field in the race for governor. Here are the stats. Take a look. Multiple questions were asked to voters in Minnesota. The first question asked voters if President Trump endorsed Mike Lindell for governor, for whom would you vote? A majority says Mike Lindell. The second question, it asked this: if the Republican primary for governor were held today, for whom would you vote? Over 21%, the majority says Mike Lindell. This big data poll asked over 1,200 registered voters. Mike's campaign says his America First message and strong grassroots support are the reasoning that voters are siding with him. They're frustrated over crime, fraud scandals, and the direction of the state under the Democrats. You too can support Mike Lindell no matter where you live in his campaign to change the state of Minnesota for the better. All you have to do is log on to MikeLindellGov.com. There you can volunteer and also donate. Now to South Carolina. The state's redistricting fight is heating up there after the state Senate gave initial approval to a newly drawn congressional map backed by Republicans. The proposal would reshape the state's lone Democrat-held district, currently represented by Congressman Jim Clyburn. The Senate advanced the measure after intense debate. It would make the state 7 Republican districts, 0 Democrat districts. Again, this has passed the South Carolina Senate. It's a big day in Texas. It's election day. Polls are now open in the state runoff races. The big one we're watching is the Senate race. Senator John Cornyn versus current Attorney General Ken Paxton. Paxton is leading in the polls and has been endorsed by President Trump. That's a huge race we're watching today. Another race we're following, Attorney General. Congressman Chip Roy versus Mays Middleton. A lot of support for both of these men. So this one right here is going to be a tight race. If you are in the Lone Star State, go vote. This is a big election day. Again, polls are open and they close at 7 o'clock tonight. Congressman Brandon Gill is sounding the alarm on fraud in Ohio. We've seen Minnesota, we've seen California, and now we're turning our attention to Ohio. Congressman Gill says fraudsters have stolen hundreds of millions of tax dollars through Ohio Medicaid scandals.
Hundreds of millions of dollars of your tax money is being wasted in an Ohio Medicaid scheme that we're uncovering on the House Oversight Committee. We believe this scheme stretches into the billions of dollars. The Ohio Medicaid agency had years to figure this out. A reporter did it in just a couple months, and we're building on their work. We're saving you taxpayer dollars, and we're ending fraud on my task force of the House Oversight Committee.
The GOP Oversight Task Force is pulling the scheme apart piece by piece, he says. More fraud, it's everywhere, and our leaders are starting to crack down. As you know, just last week, multiple arrests and charges were made in Minnesota. Scandals and thieves, our country, unfortunately, is plagued by them. But in Congress, is it allowed? What kind of deals are taking place under the table? Republicans have the House, Republicans have the Senate, and most of the time it feels like nothing is getting done. Here's a prime example of Representative Tim Burchett storming out of committee for backdoor deals he's not a fan of.
Mr. Chairman, could I say something at this point, or do I need to wait?
Yeah, you can go ahead. I'll yield to you.
Okay. I realize what's going on here, and I realize that, you know, when you're not sitting at the table, that you're not heard, and I realize the deal has already been cut. But I want to warn our party. You know, we're in the majority, and we're not acting like it. And we'll be in the minority once again because of this kind of activity. And I'm disgusted that both sides of the aisle, that we're not allowed to, deals have been cut. And I think that's wrong. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Well, the Republicans giving Democrats their way yet again. No, they shouldn't. We are the majority. We voted for a change in November 2024. 2024, and still many Republicans are playing footsies with Democrats under the table. Burchett's not happy. Here's more from him.
Hey everybody, Tim Burchett just left the committee. Had some amendments that were cutting regulation, things that we should as Republicans do, because of backroom deals they cut. They won't allow any amendments on the bill because the Democrats one Democrat didn't agree to it. So here we are in the majority, and we're not allowed to do that. And I'll guarantee you when the Democrats are in the majority, which they very much could be because of this kind of garbage. If we're going to be in the majority, you all have extended us an incredible gift, and we're going to blow it because we're not acting like we're in the majority. We got opportunity. It's not sexy. Deals with bridges and things. Anyway, the amendment did, and we allow the Democrats to tell us what to do. It's just unbelievable. At some point, we're going to have to get some guts. This town is crooked as a dog's leg, and I'm disgusted. So, thank y'all for sending me here. I really am glad you sent me here. This is the kind of stuff I want to fight, and I'll let them have it. Anyway, thank y'all.
We're glad Tennessee sent him there too. He seems like one of the only ones fighting. So Burchett posted that video we just showed you. Then he was told he wasn't being a team player. Here's more.
Everybody, Tim Burchett. It's after 1 o'clock. We're leaving Transportation Committee. I was here Monday and Tuesday, and we didn't do anything. And here it is. What is it? Thursday night? Friday morning. Monday and Tuesday we didn't meet at all, and then we get dropped a 1,000-page bill. When did they drop it on us?
This weekend, Saturday,
Sunday. And then Chairman Graves, who's a Republican, voted against. It looked like a majority of the Republican amendments, and most of them died, and they were all pretty good, doing away with those crazy traffic cameras, and they're just, all they are is revenue cameras, and wouldn't vote with us on that, and of course they're in the bill, and it's just, it's got a lot in it. I'm getting another bite at the apple, I guess, on the floor, but the wheels are greased on this, and the lobbyists are all jacked up on it, so anyway, it's just what they do to you. We should know better being in the majority, but we're not. It's just, that's what happens in these committees, folks. Every time, we just get rolled. And they cut the deal a long time ago before any of us have access to it. So you got a few amendments in there, but not what we really needed. Anyway, I'm disgusted with our own party. And this is what happens. Thank y'all for sending me here.
We're all disgusted. We love Congressman Burchett. He's a fighter. He has integrity. His constituents in Tennessee voted him in to do a job, and he's trying, but he's not only fighting the Democrats, he's fighting people in his own party. But that's politics. Backdoor deals, closed door deals, under the table deals. Truly disgusting. But keep watching Burchett. He's still fighting for you. Well, in case you missed it over the weekend, a gunman was shot and killed by Secret Service after opening gunfire near a White House security checkpoint. This was Saturday. It triggered a temporary lockdown of the White House. President Trump was inside. He was unharmed. According to the Secret Service, the suspect approached a checkpoint near 17th and Pennsylvania Avenue, pulled a handgun from a bag, and began firing at officers guarding the post. Agents immediately returned fire, striking the suspect, who later died at the hospital. That man, 21-year-old Nasir Best of Maryland. He had a lengthy criminal record. Roughly 10 to 20 shots were fired during the exchange, we're told. A bystander was also struck by gunfire and is expected to survive. No Secret Service agents were injured. Now, minutes later, the Secret Service released that unmanned drones will now be used in and around highly secured areas. The new drones will conduct aerial surveillance, develop flight operation plans, and evaluate emerging technologies. The unmanned drones will protect the president and dignitaries, as well as assisting with criminal investigations. Now to the latest in Iran, the president saying that negotiations are proceeding nicely. Here is a post from over the weekend telling America the latest with the war. However, there were new strikes on Iranian missile launch sites over the weekend and more security around the Strait of Hormuz after vessels were attempting to lay naval mines in the shipping lane. U.S. Central Command says American forces carried out self defense strikes. Iran now claims it shot down an American drone and is accusing the U.S. of violating ceasefire framework. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says talks are still underway and a possible agreement could come within days.
I don't think anyone's been tougher on the Iranian nuclear ambition than President Trump. Understand, okay? Again, I don't know what some of these individual comments have been from different sectors of our politics in the United States, but I will say this. There is no one who has been stronger on this issue than President Trump. Okay? Multiple political leaders, multiple presidents of the United States have all said the same thing. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. The only one who's tried to do anything and has actually done anything about it in a real way has been President Trump. So his commitment to that principle that they'll never have a nuclear weapon shouldn't be questioned by anybody. And the idea that somehow this president, given everything he's already proven he's willing to do, is going to somehow agree to a deal that ultimately winds up putting Iran in a stronger position when it comes to nuclear ambitions is absurd. That's just not going to happen. But our preference is to address this through a diplomatic means. And that's what we're endeavoring to do here. I think we've made some progress. I'm always cautious when I say that because you can agree to things on paper, they actually have to be implemented. You can agree to things in writing, and then you actually have to go out and do it. And but I do think perhaps there is the possibility that over the next few hours, the world will get some good news, at least with regards to the Straits and with regards to a process that can ultimately leave us where the president wants us to be, and that is a world that no longer has to be in fear or worry about an Iranian nuclear weapon. And so I do think there's some good news on that front, but not final news on that front.
The proposed framework reportedly includes reopening the Strait of Hormuz, easing some sanctions, and beginning a 60-day negotiation period focused on Iran's nuclear program and enriched uranium stockpile. So we'll keep an eye out on what happens this week with Iran. Those are your top headlines today. When we come back, a somber Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery will take you to the ceremony honoring the fallen.
In every hour of peril and every moment of crisis, American warriors have left behind the blessings of home and family to answer their nation's call.
We owe a duty to those who have fallen in war. They have paid a debt we can never repay, and for that, we owe gratitude and remembrance. We owe at least this, to remember their sacrifice and honor their memory year after year. Salute after salute, ceremony after ceremony, parade after parade, prayer after prayer, that by our remembrance, we keep lit the eternal flame. God bless our warriors, and may God bless our fallen.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Mike Lindell Show here on Lindell TV. And I want to tell you all, at Lindell TV, we've grown to be this huge, amazing media outlet over the years now, and having people in the White House, the Capitol, and the Pentagon, and it's been all made possible by our great sponsors. And today we have the best. We have I believe, the best gold company in the country, American Independence Gold. I'm going to bring in Ryan Durda. He's the Senior Vice President. Ryan, thanks for sponsoring us. Thanks for sponsoring Lindell TV. We couldn't ask for a better gold company. I know I vetted you guys personally. You guys, they treat every customer like their only customer. You guys know that's very dear to me. And I'll say the offer right away. You get a free gold bar today with a qualified purchase. Just visit MikeLindellGold.com. That's MikeLindellGold.com. And I want to tell you all something right out of the gate. There's other companies out there using my likeness, but I only sponsor one gold company, and that's American Independence Gold. And Ryan, can you tell us about American Independence Gold? What makes you different than the other gold companies that are out there trying to, actually some of them using my image because they want my endorsement?
First, Mike, let me say, great to be here. Great to have the opportunity to speak with you today. Big supporter for a long time. Thank you for all of your kind words. And to answer your question, what makes us different? First and foremost, integrity. We are a veteran-owned company. With that veteran-owned company title, that's also given us an exclusive partnership with Tunnel to Towers. This is something that it means so much to me to be able to work for a company that supports our patriots and those that stand for fighting for our freedom so very much. It has a special place in my heart as well. Mike, I'm a retired fireman myself. Both of my parents are retired police. So to work with a company that's not only veteran owned, but goes out there and helps organizations that support those who serve our country and the service members who have fought and fallen for our country. To me, that's just, it means everything, not only to me personally, but to every single one of our clients that we have the opportunity to work with.
Today, you're getting a free gold bar with qualified purchase. They visit MikeLindellGold.com. Now, if I'm a customer and I call up, what I liked so much about you guys, you do treat every customer like it's your only customer. So it's like a free conversation, right? That you're talking to them, and if it's been a while since I had about a couple, 3-4 weeks, and I have so much going on. But one of the things is you stay in constant contact with that customer. That's one of the things I like, right? I mean, you're constantly following up their portfolio to see what they have for see what the every customer, every person is different, right? With what their needs are, right? And you guys are the experts on that. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much again for highlighting that. I'll start by saying that we are a full service precious metals broker dealer. So with that being full service, meaning we can handle transactions that are just from a checking or savings account or brokerage account that gets delivered directly to their home, fully insured and discreetly as well, might I mention, or for those clients that have a qualified retirement account such as an IRA or a 401k, and we can provide them with an array of precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. And specifically to your point, Mike, every single client that we speak with, we want to get to know them. At our firm, they're not just a number. It's not just a transactional sale that occurs between that customer and our firm. So we get to know our clients prior to them doing any business with us. Prior to them making any purchase, we'll do a full metals consultation to determine what assets make the most sense for their individual portfolio and what their goals are. Why are they even wanting to add gold and silver to that portfolio? Where is it a fit? Following the purchase of their precious metals, again, whether it's an at-home delivery or inside of a qualified retirement account, every single month, we are reaching out to that client to give them, an overall market update and how, what's going on in the world affects the price movement of precious metals, and then to also highlight the specific performance of the assets that they own in that portfolio.
And that is so important, everybody. To me, that's what really sets you guys apart, among the other things too, veteran owned and helping out others. But to have that personal relationship, you guys, is so important. That's how I built all my businesses on, treating every customer like it's your only customer, and giving people that sense of that you guys care what you do, and if you don't succeed, they don't succeed, and so I really like that one-on-one. And you guys, I had back when I had gold delivered right to my front door. It's kind of a unique thing when you have physical gold come to your door. I'm going, wow, it was all new to me. And back then, I bought it for a rainy day, and with myself, it obviously rained, so I had to sell it. But but anyway, I want to ask another thing. I guess silver's real big right now. I know people have concerns that that maybe these precious metals just keep going up, and where's the ceiling? I guess nobody really knows, and we're an anomaly. What I always tell people, we're an anomaly in history. Traditionally, if this was up, if the markets were down, gold is up, and vice versa. But we're in an anomaly, aren't we? Aren't we, Ryan? We're in an anomaly where I believe people like myself and others, they don't know. You guys at least have. You guys have been doing this so long. You at least have advice based on, even though it's an anomaly. You're the experts out there that can make based on what's going on, the current footprint, because things can change weekly in the world we're in right now. Correct?
You're spot on, and I'm laughing as you're saying that because I had a client that I spoke to yesterday literally said the exact same thing to me when we got on the phone. He goes, what is going on? Nothing makes sense in the markets. And I said, you have to have heard the saying in Wall Street, the markets can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. So, but there's always a reason, right? There's always a mechanics behind everything that moves. Personally, I've managed money for clients for over 20 years. So, one of the things that our clients will rely on myself or, other experts in our firm is that, we have the knowledge, we have the ability to explain to our clients why these things are occurring. And even at times when there is, just an irrational sense in the market, there's still a rational reason behind it. So that's something when, we speak with our clients, again, as I mentioned before, as we do these market updates, that's part of it. So as I can explain to them, well, in a normal situation, this would occur, but the reason this time there's this anomaly, as you mentioned, is because of this variable. And when we see certain things like that, it also indicates to us that there's this going on over here. So it's something that, our clients look forward to, knowing that when we speak to them, having the knowledge that we can share with them definitely brings a sense of comfort in sometimes a world that's not so comfortable and stable.
Remember, I said at the beginning, a lot of these other companies want to use my likeness. I'm getting it with sponsors all over the place that aren't sponsoring Lindell TV, and they're trying to use my likeness. And you see this AI and stuff out there. This is the only gold company I sponsor, and they're the best. American Independence Gold. You guys, today, get your free gold bar with a qualified purchase. Check it out right now. Go to MikeLindellGold.com. Go there. You have everything to gain over there. Just go to MikeLindellGold.com. Ryan, I can't thank you enough. I'm going to have you on regularly here. Maybe we'll do like every couple week update, because the right before we go, what do you consider where we're at right now? Are people more are they going after silver more? I've heard that. I mean, where are we at right now? It's just kind of, we don't know up or down, or it's just kind of a constant incline, or where. If I was going to call you right now and say, hey, what's it look like right now, Ryan? What would your short answer be? Yeah.
Again, great question, Mike. The first thing I'll say is, obviously, every individual person is different, so things are going to be tailored to their specific needs. However, if I were to answer that with just a general statement, I would say first and foremost, They say history doesn't repeat itself, but it sure does rhyme. So we have a 5,000-year track record of gold and silver to look back on. And based on what gold and silver have done historically, when we have a bull run that's occurring in precious metals, gold always leads, which we've already seen that. It's driven by central bank buying. Silver lags gold. However, historically, it always outperforms gold. So in a sense where you have somebody that's looking to make, a greater potential return on investment during the run, I would, recommend, still having a balanced blended portfolio, but probably lean heavy on the side of silver if you're looking, again, for that extra bang for your buck. Gold is always an essential part of a portfolio, be it that it's considered literally the safest thing that you can own. And that's not just me saying that. That is defined by the global central banks all around the world. Titling gold is what's called a tier 1 asset, meaning it's safe, it's stable, and it's liquid.
Yeah, absolutely, everybody. And I recommend, I loved it when I was buying gold, physical gold coming right to my front door. You guys can do that too. Get your free gold bar with qualified purchase today. Visit MikeLindellGold.com, everybody. Get the security you need. This is a win-win-win. And Ryan, thank you so much for coming on. You guys are awesome. We welcome you at Lindell TV here. You guys are great. You make this all possible, and you're helping so many great people out there. And thank you so much for coming on.
My pleasure. And before we part ways, I'd like to say one last thing. For the next 50 customers that come in with our firm through your partnership, they will be getting their new Quality Leering Center t-shirts.
There you go, everybody. Fresh from my home state of Minnesota. Oh, God bless you. Thanks, Ryan. You guys are awesome.
Yes, sir, Mike. You have a great day. It was a pleasure.
Thanks.
As we celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States of America, it's important for us to remember those that made the ultimate sacrifice for our country, and no place to better do that than here in Pearl Harbor.
On December 7, 1941, 1,177 sailors in the Marine lost their lives on this ship. 960 remain entombed below us today. And for us, this is hallowed ground.
The Arizona Memorial in the middle of Pearl Harbor is one of the hundreds of historical battle sites and locations that the National Park Service is honored to maintain as we preserve our history, but also provide inspiration for the future. As we celebrate our nation's 250th birthday, let's remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice, who made this the greatest country in the world.
Memorial Day ceremonies were held across the country this weekend, including on the sacred grounds of Arlington National Cemetery. Hundreds gathered to honor the men and women who gave their lives in service to our nation. President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and Secretary of War Pete Hegseth. They joined military families, veterans, and Gold Star families for the annual observance, laying a wreath at the tomb of the unknown soldier.
Scripture tells us precious is the sight of the Lord, is the death of his faithful servants. 400,000 souls rest on these grounds, these beautiful grounds, in the sacred soil which is first consecrated in the hours of America's greatest division to be eternal symbol of national unity. It cannot be by chance alone that the very first service member laid to rest here in this place of supreme sacrifice was a Union soldier by the name of Private Christman. Private William Henry Christman of Pennsylvania, who died as 19 years old He was a great young man, they say. Beside him are more than 18,000 other young men named William, over 20,000 named John, over 13,000 named James, joined over time by Isaac, Elijah, Earls, Hanks, Helens, Wands, Margarets, Marius, Donalds, not too many, and others whose names tell the true story of American greatness, and greatness it is. Here beneath arching trees and white stones so beautiful, these many are made one again, united forever as brothers and sisters in arms and children of our fathers in heaven.
Reflecting on the sacrifice made by generations of American heroes, the solemn ceremony served as a reminder that freedoms we enjoy today came at a cost, paid for by those who never made it home. America's 250th birthday. What a year. And construction is being made on the White House lawn for UFC 250. I hear about this all the time. Viewers are so excited about this. And I actually know some people who are going to the Fan Fest. We'll talk about that here in a second. But these new visuals have just been released on what the arena will look like, as well as Fan Fest. That's going to be on the outside gates, and it is open to the public. You can actually get tickets for that. Tens of thousands are expected next month. UFC is staging a historic fight card on the South Lawn. The temporary arena structure is nicknamed the Claw, with cranes and large-scale staging already visible on site. The setup will seat 4,000 to 5,000 invited guests, including military members, VIPs, and celebrities. It will take place on June 14th. That is President Trump's birthday, also Flag Day weekend. Graduation ceremonies were held this past weekend at the United States Military Academy at West Point in New York. Look how excited those graduates are. Nearly 1,000 cadets officially became commissioned Army officers in the Academy's 228th graduating class. The class of 2026 adopted the motto, "For Country We Commit," and giving the commencement address, Pete Hegseth.
Now, most senior leaders wait until the end to have this discussion, but I'm just going to come up the top rope right now and get this out of the way. For all those cadets who've committed minor infractions or violations of the regulations of the United States Military Academy, for which ordinary and special punishment has been imposed or is being considered to the Corps of Cadets, as President Trump might say, a complete and total pardon.
Hegseth delivered a high-profile and at times fiery address focused on military readiness, patriotism, sacrifice, and restoring a warrior culture inside the armed forces.
Last and most importantly, seek God and know that we are not Him. It's humbling. It's also liberating. As Charlie Kirk often said, remember always, this too shall pass. The good times will pass. The bad times will pass. You're never as good as you think you are, nor are you as bad as you think you are. Seek God in every circumstance. Nobody is perfect, but when the bullets start flying, you will not be unprepared. You and your soldiers must be the most prepared, best trained, deadliest, most elite in the world.
A major headline from the speech came when Hegseth sharply criticized DEI and woke policies in the military. Remember that? We had it during the Biden administration. But he says, diversity is not our strength. Unity is our strength. He told the cadets the military must stay focused on warfighting and readiness. Now, when we come back, a race around the track. We'll take you to the Indy 500 where Kyle Busch was remembered. But first, a look at the Memorial Day Parade in Washington, D.C. We'll be right back.
The Freedom 250 National Memorial Day Parade is produced by the American Veterans Center, and a group of very special guests carry today's lead parade banner. We're honored to have Gold Star mothers with us.
And today our hearts are with these and all Gold Star families, as this day is our nation's collective remembrance, and we pay honor to the children that they have lost while in active service to the United States Armed Forces. God bless them. In memory of those who served reads the banner that'll be passing by us now, and that is the very reason that we're gathered here today.
Now, as our parade begins, a reminder of the true meaning of the Memorial Day holiday. The riderless horse you see here leads this parade annually, honoring our fallen heroes. Among the oldest military traditions in a full honor funeral is that of a riderless horse. Wearing an empty saddle with the rider's boots reversed in the stirrups, it honors the warrior who will never ride again.
The sacrifices that we honor on Memorial Day are the price of the freedom we celebrate on Independence Day.
Now, as we commemorate this 250th anniversary of America, we remember those who made it all possible. From the Military District of Washington, today's Freedom 250 National Memorial Day Parade Ceremonial Honor Guard joins in honor of all who have sacrificed these last 250 years.
Joining our marching platoons from the United States Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, Space Force, and Coast Guard.
Welcome to Vocal, the free speech social app that gives you a platform to amplify your voice, speak freely, connect boldly, and be part of a growing movement for truth, faith, and freedom. Want to know what's happening right now? The Now Playing feature shows you exactly who's live and what's streaming in real time. Check out the show's feed, a non-stop lineup including LINDELLTV News 24/7, shows and on-demand programming all in one place. Connect with your favorite host and never miss a show. Explore the featured page for quick access to LINDELLTV's top shows. Follow your favorites and watch their newest content flow right into your feed. And when they go live on Vocal, you can join the live chat and be part of the action. Ask questions, share your thoughts, even help shape future shows. Stay informed on issues around securing our elections by following your state's Cause of America account. Join a group and connect on a deeper level, from faith and freedom to the future of our nation. Go to vocal.com or download the app today and be a part of the mission to save our country.
When you read one news source, you get one side. When you read two sources, you get an argument. Read 40 sources, and you get the truth. LINDELLReport.com, the only place you ever need to visit for your news. From Lindell TV, over 40 trusted outlets in one place. No editorial gatekeepers, no hidden bias. Just the day's news. Balanced, unfiltered, ready when you are. Whether you lean left, right, or straight down the middle, this is where you start your day. One click, one feed, one truth. The decision is yours. LINDELLReport.com. The news you need, the balance you deserve.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, MyPillow mattresses and MyPillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets, regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard My Pillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to mypillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's gonna ship absolutely free. Too many pharmacies and insurance companies are blocking the medications that actually work. That's why I recommend All Family Pharmacy. They give you access to treatments like ivermectin now, starting at just $2 a capsule. They also have methylene blue, hydroxychloroquine, and so much more. They're helping you stay prepared, and they've dropped their prices by 25%. Also use promo code LINDELL10, you save even more. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell. Use promo code LINDELL10 and get the medicine you need.
Talk is cheap when it comes to saving our country. We're not just any cell phone service provider. We're Patriot Mobile. It's not enough to simply talk about values. We live them. Defending life, protecting our First and Second Amendments, and celebrating our military and first responder heroes. We're boots on the ground making a difference. We're America's only Christian conservative wireless provider with nationwide coverage on all 3 major networks and 100% U.S.-based customer service. Join Patriot Mobile today and make an impact every time you use your cell phone.
America's founders warned that without knowledge and virtue, no nation can remain free. Yet through the steady infiltration of Marxist ideology, we have been stripped of both, and we are no longer a moral and educated people. To save America, we must spark nothing less than a national renaissance. That's why you need Freedom Talk Magazine, the journal of truth and virtue. We cultivate enlightened thinking and principled living, offering unique insights into the issues and remarkable people defining our world. Sign up today for your free subscription to Freedom Talk Magazine and join the new American Renaissance.
Well, hello, everyone. Well, I'm turning 65, and let me tell you, Medicare has me confused. All the junk mail and the robocalls and everything else, it honestly feels like they rigged the system just to confuse us. Well, that's why I partnered and working with Chapter. They're independent, and they don't work for big insurance. They work for us. In fact, they're the only advisor that compares every single plan nationwide to find what actually fits your needs. If you're on the right plan, they tell you. If you're not, they're going to help you switch. And it's completely free. Just last year, seniors saved about $1,100 by finding a better plan with Chapter. So call Chapter at 234-LINDELL or go to askchapter.org/Lindell.
All right, what a cool moment at the Indy 500 as Black Hawk helicopters joined in on the pace lap with the drivers. How cool does that look? It was the 110th running of the Indianapolis 500. It was dramatic. Constant drama, including crashes, weather delays, red flags, and a late restart. There was also a record 70 lead changes throughout the day. Kyle Busch was honored there and also at NASCAR's Coca-Cola 600 following his sudden death last week. Kyle went to the hospital with a serious illness and later died at just 41 years old. Tributes poured in yesterday across motorsports.
Kyle Busch wasn't born in a race car. It just seemed that way. With raw talent, confidence, and a fearless edge, he started racing at 6 and was NASCAR Rookie of the Year at just 19.
Don't ever doubt me with 1 lap to go.
He went on to build one of the greatest careers the sport has ever seen, earning 234 wins across all 3 national series. But all that winning did little to smooth Kyle's rough edges. That took a very special person, Samantha. As their love and family grew, so did he, and Victory Lane became the place shared with the people he loved most. In 21 years chasing greatness, the talented teenage wild thing grew into the husband, father, and champion everyone wanted to see win at least one more time. And we did. A brief illness claimed the life of Kyle Busch Thursday, age 41.
And we are joined by 7-time NASCAR champion Jimmy Johnson.
with Tony and Danica, and I wish it was under different circumstances that we had you here, but we appreciate you coming by. You were a teammate of Kyle Busch's. This is just so shocking and sudden and has sent shockwaves through all of us, so we grieve with you.
Absolutely, and you know, I was in this paddock for a few years and was so surprised how many in this paddock paid attention to NASCAR, and coming back here a couple of days ago and seeing folks after the announcement about Kyle's passing, to see the love and respect from this garage, this paddock as they call it, the community of motorsport, it is always impressive, and to see everybody rallying and sharing their concerns this time has been quite impressive.
You know, I think what stands out about Kyle is just how much he loved racing. You know, he loved to drive the cars, win the cars. Obviously, we saw how competitive he was and fiery, to now his son Brexton racing. And, you know, he wanted to race the Indy 500. He really wanted to. And I'm really sad that we're not going to see that happen because I think he would have been pretty spectacular. But he's truly a loss to, obviously, his family, but the whole racing community for the personality and the driver that he was.
Yeah, and I was fortunate enough to have him as a teammate as well, and he was a little rough around the edges. Finally, somebody that came along that was rougher around the edges than I was. But
It made you look good at times.
He did, in all honesty. But I think what I'm going to miss the most, and what I've really appreciated watching the last couple of years, is the transformation from him to grow into a family man and a father. And you know, obviously my roots are in dirt track racing, so to be able to watch Kyle and Brexton and Samantha go to the racetrack together and race, and just see that family atmosphere for those guys, that's a side of Kyle Busch that most people didn't get the luxury to see.
Great words about him there. At the Coca-Cola 600, NASCAR held a powerful pre-race moment of silence with Busch's wife Samantha and their children standing alongside. And again at the Indy 500, a tribute to Busch's iconic number 18 car. Officials paused during lap 18. Let's see how the markets are opening today. A live look from MarketWatch.com. They're pointing higher after being closed yesterday for Memorial Day. The Dow, the S&P 500, and the NASDAQ all up big at this hour. Investors are watching easing oil prices, Middle East developments, and a heavy week of earnings and economic data. Markets are rallying on optimism surrounding possible de-escalation with Iran and hopes tied to reopening the Strait of Hormuz, which pushed oil prices slightly lower. However, gains trimmed somewhat overnight after reports of additional U.S. defense strikes in the region. Big things Wall Street is watching this week. Be on the lookout. Core PCE inflation report, GDP revision, consumer confidence data is coming out, and also earnings from companies like Dell Technologies, Costco, Wholesale, and Marvel Technology. But starting off the week pretty good over there on Wall Street. In your news to go, a quick glimpse of President Trump's schedule for today. He has a big day ahead of him. At 8 o'clock this morning, he held an executive meeting. Following that, he will head to Walter Reed Medical Center for his annual exam. Now, while there, he will visit with our wounded military members. Then starting at 1:30 this afternoon, he will hold 3 different policy meetings. And then at 7 o'clock tonight, he will attend a dinner for the Rose Garden Club. And of course, for today's top headlines and more from all across the country, you can log on to LINDELLTV.com and download the Lindell TV app. Now to our Bible verse of the day, coming from the book of Philippians. The Bible says, "Be anxious for nothing, but in everything by prayer and supplication, with thanksgiving, let your requests be known to God, and the peace of God, which surpasses all comprehension, will guard your hearts and your minds in Jesus Christ." And that'll do it for us here this morning. Thanks so much for joining us today. And I want to give a special hello to one of our viewers, Kelly. She watches religiously on Rumble every single day. So Kelly, thank you so much for watching and chatting with me every day in the commercial breaks. And we'll see all of you same time, same place tomorrow. We leave you today with sights from Idaho. Have a great day.
Welcome to Vocal, the free speech social app that gives you a platform to amplify your voice. Speak freely, connect boldly, and be part of a growing movement for truth, faith, and freedom. Want to know what's happening right now? The Now Playing feature shows you exactly who's live and what's streaming in real time. Check out the show's feed, a non-stop lineup including Lindell TV News 24/7, shows and on-demand programming all in one place. Connect with your favorite host and never miss a show. Explore the featured page for quick access to Lindell TV's top shows. Follow your favorites and watch their newest content flow right into your feed. And when they go live on Vocal, you can join the live chat and be part of the action. Ask questions, share your thoughts, even help shape future shows. Stay informed on issues around securing our elections by following your state's Cause of America account. Join a group and connect on a deeper level, from faith and freedom to the future of our nation. Go to vocal.com or download the app today and be a part of the mission to save our country.
When you read one news source, you get one side. When you read two sources, you get an argument. Read 40 sources, and you get the truth. LINDELLReport.com, the only place you ever need to visit for your news. From Lindell TV, over 40 trusted outlets in one place. No editorial gatekeepers, no hidden bias. Just the day's news. Balanced, unfiltered, ready when you are. Whether you lean left, right, or straight down the middle, this is where you start your day. One click, one feed, one truth. The decision is yours. LINDELLReport.com. The news you need, the balance you deserve.
It's finally here, our second annual mega sale. This sale only comes around once a year, so take advantage of the best offers ever while you can. For example, save 50% on our Giza Dream bed sheets, as low as $29.98. And for the first time ever on TV, MyPillow mattresses and MyPillow mattress toppers, as low as $99.98. And you save 50% on our Lux Pure 6-piece towel sets. Regular $69.98, now only $39.98. And our best-selling standard MyPillows, regular $49.98, on sale for $17.98. Wait on it, mega sale, only $14.98. So go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use this promo code to take advantage of our second annual mega sale. But wait, there's more. To make the mega sale even more special, when you order right now, your order's going to ship absolutely free. Too many pharmacies and insurance companies are blocking the medications that actually work. That's why I recommend All Family Pharmacy. They give you access to treatments like ivermectin now, starting at just $2 a capsule. They also have methylene blue, hydroxychloroquine, and so much more. They're helping you stay prepared, and they've dropped their prices by 25%. Also use promo code LINDELL10, you save even more. Go to allfamilypharmacy.com/Lindell.